Welcome to the 15th Floor, a Radiohead reaction podcast where a Gen X father tries to convince his Gen Z son that Radiohead is the greatest band of all time. We react to Radiohead songs one at a time where he listens to them and reacts to them for the first time. I listen and react for the zillionth time. And we discuss, talk amongst ourselves. And you.
Yep.
Appreciate all the views for our last video, which was 2 + 2 = 5. Great reaction. Today we are going all the way back to the beginning. I know people really want, and I keep feeling an urge to get into King of Limbs and a little bit and Amnesiac, but we're going back to Pablo Honey. At the request of me, and Father Risky was the only person that requested this song. We're doing Stop Whispering from 1993's Pablo Honey. What do you know about Stop Whispering?
I don't know why we asked this.
Maybe.
Not just go back and get some other clips of me saying the same thing.
Just use the same video of.
Yep.
Now here's Mr. Black. Stop Whispering is a very old Radiohead song. In fact, it's from their On a Friday days, before they were called Radiohead, and so that means it's probably has its origins in the 80s, but was one of the songs that really helped convince a record label that this is a band they wanted to sign. So Radiohead knew early on that this was a song that was catchy enough to release as a single-ish. It sounds old, but it's a beautiful song, and we're going to have a chance to listen to it today. I don't think I have anything to say. Let's just listen to Stop Whispering. As always, we're going to put the link to Radiohead's Stop Whispering in the description. We're going to put the album version. We're going to put the US single version, which is a superior version, and then we'll put the live version from Astoria. The 3 different versions of this song. Absolutely, take a moment, maybe pause this video, go watch one of those, and get to know this song so you know what we're reacting to. It's worth a listen. Give it a chance.
Short, quick intro, getting right to the point, kind of. So far, it sounds like this is a on the road type music.
Road music?
Yeah, road music. Just like road that trip? Intro was just like, it's one of those songs that you hear in like those movies, and it shows the silhouette, silhouette of the car driving. Yeah. That's what that reminded me of.
Well, it is from the late 80s, so yeah, it probably has a place in many a 90s pre-credit scenes, right? Yep. Those chords, that's D and G, the only 2 chords that play throughout this song. Now, of course, they arpeggio it, they have lead guitar throughout, and they make it interesting, and in a different version, they have lots of strings, which I'm going to make Jacob listen to after this. You could learn to play this song in a few minutes, even if you've never picked up a guitar. You can't play it like they play it, but you can play it.
I mean, if there was a perfect song, if you had to choose one song to listen in a car, it would be this song.
You're loving this car.
I'm
this
loving
idea.
the car. It's just, that's what it sounds like to me. And trying to look past that.
No, you don't have to look past it. I think that's fine. If it creates that environment for you, that's fine.
Not bad of a song. You have that simple good. No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
D and G are simple.
Yeah.
And it's just 4-step difference and pretty simple to play. I like that there is good lead guitar in there that you're going to hear better in the US single version, which I'm going to make Jacob listen to. This
song seems a little bit different from other Radiohead songs. When he sang "Start Shouting" the second time, I felt like that this wasn't really a Radiohead song. From what I've listened to, this song really sticks out from the others.
Yeah, remember this is on Pablo Honey, so they're still doing a lot of what they see other people do. This song is a certainly almost a dedication to the Pixies, which is a late 80s, early 90s band that is well known for its quiet verses, loud choruses, stop whispering, start shouting, and Radiohead, one of Radiohead's early influences, and it's a melodic, pre-grunge alternative rock song.
It sounds like they got more energetic in that second chorus. Or maybe I'm just completely forgetting how the first chorus went.
You felt like that was a little more power there. Certainly in the start shouting, leading right into the heavier guitar.
Yeah.
And this portion of the underlying music is very early 90s. Very good. Little Love Spit Love. Maybe Jesus and Mary Chain, just a simple chord progression. No, there's no progression. 2 chords, but a unique way to put music around those 2 chords.
Definitely a good one. Something that I would love to hear at a concert.
Yeah.
It was really energetic, and I really like when he wasn't singing at the end there, they had that guitar and the drums, and that was like really energetic and really exciting and fun.
Yeah, and where in later albums I say that you're not going to hear a lot of crescendos and build-ups. This is a crescendo build-up. After that last, doesn't matter anyway, and they go into the stop whispering again, then it's build up, build up, build up. And very fun live. I'm going to put a link into the Live at Astoria version because that's such a good version. Plus you get a little F-bomb by Tom York. But on that last stop whispering, they sound awesome. They are just freewheeling. You can see that what they ended up recording on Pablo Honey is a version of this song that they probably had played several times. But what they ended up releasing in the United States with strings and with a completely different arrangement, with a completely different enchanting atmosphere. Is I think a little bit better than that, but than this version. But that live version, please, if you haven't seen that live version, just check out that link in the description below and enjoy it. We're gonna stop this for a second, and I'm gonna have him listen to the U.S. single version. Okay, so we just listened to the U.S. version, and I played a little snippet of the live version too, because they are different songs. And man, that live version's so cool. It just gets so raucous and loud. It's a bit of a time capsule. This sounds so much like Dinosaur Jr., definitely the Pixies. You just hear some of those early influences, and especially since Radiohead departs from any other influences later on and completely does really their own thing. It's interesting to hear them do this. As I said before, this is a song that caught record labels' ears, or representatives from record labels' ears early on, and there's no question why. It's got a very classic tune to it. What bands were doing in the late 80s and early 90s with melody, this song captures that, and I think anybody listening to it could at least say, oh, that's a nice little rock song. And it definitely is. Does it have the levels? Does it have the advanced musicianship that some of the later Radiohead does? No, not really. But for 1993, for a band that's not sure if they're even if anyone outside of their own little town is gonna hear this song or this album, it's a cool song. What do you think as far as a score?
8.5.
Oh, good. It's not as much of one that has to grow on you as, say, Reckoner.
Yeah. It was... I'm not going to compare to certain songs, but it was just one of these songs that I listened to it, and I already knew it had a good rhythm, and I already knew that I'm going to like it. And it's rare when that happens, but when it happens, you really like that song. And with some other songs, this was one of them, and I like that.
Yeah, good. I'm glad you liked it. I'm glad we went back far in the catalog, and you still found something that you liked, because it is a good song. Watch that live version and really see what Radiohead was doing to make their live shows more exciting. And you just see that a young version of these musicians wanting to expand what they're doing, expand what they're presenting to their audience. And that is another thing that makes Radiohead so great. Everybody says their favorite band is great live, unless their favorite band is Avril Lavigne. She's awful live. Everybody says that, but Radiohead brings something really unique to their live performances, and this is a great tune. It reminds me of college, or it reminds me of a road trip, driving off into the sunset.
Yep.
Pictures. So my daughter's picture, she has a girl saying "Be loud, not quiet," and another girl saying "Okay," and I'm not sure what she's holding. I should have asked her that.
A sign.
Maybe a sign. Oh, yes. And then the sign says, don't be quiet. That's what she's pointing at. Yeah, I think that's pretty cut and dried. Probably exactly what they want you to know. Make your voice heard. And then his says, the guy on the right is saying, stop whispering. The guy on the left is saying, why not? And the guy on the right responds, because, just stop. Because yeah, good stuff. The actual meaning of the song, I mean, it's clear. Make your voice heard. Don't be shy. Your voice matters. Say, don't let people put you down. Stop whispering. Start shouting. Let it be known. So let's go to a couple of comments off of our last video. Neem6Ben said, I'd give anything to be able to listen to Radiohead for a first time again. That is absolutely... Why are you laughing?
It's just because it's... Of all the comments, you thought that one was like, we got to talk about it. Because it's so inspiring.
But it's true. That I cannot remember what it's like to hear Radiohead for the first time. I remember... Yes, you can. You're so lucky.
Yep.
I remember listening to some of these songs of course, I remember listening to these songs the first time all the time, but I don't, to be able to hear it again and not know what's going to happen, that would be something kind of cool. That being said, because I love these songs so much, hearing them now and knowing what's going to happen, I think is probably more exciting. And then Nils Olaf Leif, I really am sorry. It's probably your name, and it's a regular commenter too. So, but Nils Olaf Leif says Radiohead has this mind-opening effect. I knew about them for years, and I never liked them until I heard that one song. In my case, I Might Be Wrong, and everything falls into place. That's the name of the song. I Might Be Wrong. Yeah. Learning to like them sort of unlocked a much wider taste in music all over for me. I've met a few people, especially since we've been doing this podcast, who have said, I've never really given Radiohead a real shot. I always liked this one song or this song, or I had a buddy who liked them, but I never... But then I heard this one song, and it really unlocks all the songs. I feel like Radiohead did that for me. I think a lot of bands have done that for me. That when you learn to appreciate that music, you start to learn to appreciate all music. Then when you hear influences or things that influence that band, you start to really enjoy that. I've been going back and listening to some old song. Well, you've been listening in the car. I've been listening to the Carpenters, and and you might think, what does the Carpenters have to do with Radiohead? And you've got vocal layering, great sound mixing, studio mixing. You've got strange use of instrumentation. Think "Goodbye to Love" guitar solo, if you know that song by the Carpenters. You might not think these bands or these eras have anything to do with each other, but once you see the influence that other musicians have on themselves, and then all music influences you, it helps you to appreciate it all a lot more. I recommend, if you're enjoying Radiohead, keep listening to the podcast. That's the only way you're gonna. No, I'm kidding. Keep listening to these songs over and over again. Put them on in your car, and you'll really start to gain a great appreciation for not just Radiohead but all music, I think. So we might not make it back to Pablo Honey in a while. Let us know what songs from Pablo Honey you'd like us to do in the future. It's a great album, and it deserves its place in Radiohead history. Please like, subscribe, share, comment. We really do like the comments. Be positive. Continue to love one another. Keep listening to music together. You're now leaving
the 15th floor.